Hello, welcome back to the AJ Review Show. Today we have the brand new release of basically the fifth John Wick film, Ballerina. I had mixed expectations for this. I'm a big fan of the John Wick franchise. They are so well known for their action, their quick pacing, cool cinematography, actually wicked shot choice. So I was hoping a lot, but I also wasn't expecting too much. I think quite a few people were kind of hoping they were just going to leave John Wick alone after 4. It's a great send-off, and it's actually pretty rare that a character gets that much love and that good of a send-off. So I was worried going into this. Obviously, it is not a John Wick-orientated film. It is all about Ana de Armas's new character, who is the Ballerina. So, directed by Les Wiseman, starring Ana de Armas. Keanu Reeves is also in it, and you've got Norman Reedus, Ian McShane, Lance Reddick, and it is actually Lance Reddick's final role that he did before he very sadly passed away. So this is the last time you will ever see him. It was actually really cool to see him. He is a great character within the John Wick franchise, so it was really, really cool to see him one more time. There is one actor I haven't named. Her name is Sharon Duncan Brew. She's also in the Dune films. She plays a role early on in the film as sort of like a teacher to Ana de Armas. She was awful in the film. I'm sorry to start off on such a negative tone, but her accent was all over the place. It went from American to African to Russian, and it could do that all in the same sentence. It was actually really distracting. And unfortunately, her role was the first of quite a few that were pretty poorly acted. Now, you don't really watch John Wick films for the acting. I completely acknowledge that. You watch it for the action, for the thrill, for the big screen excitement. But the moments in between the action, you do need some good acting, some good script, and enough story to carry you through, which it kind of lacks in, unfortunately. It doesn't feel like the same setup that we got with the first John Wick film. I think it was pretty well known that with John Wick, they were going to get at least one more or two more films, and obviously we ended up with 4 of them. But it doesn't feel like it has the same love or really the same legs to do what John Wick did. Ana de Armas in the film is okay. I don't think she's the most fantastic actress in the world, and a lot of the role that she does is physical, and the good thing is she does do quite a lot of her stunts, or as many stunts as she could. It's a very physical role. She obviously did enjoy, I feel, the physicality of it because, you know, you can't really fake that kind of energy. So for a hitman sort of role, she is a good cast. She's brought a lot of energy into the film, but it's not really a great film for if you love acting. Her acting in it is the best that there is in the film, but still not great by comparison. It's just that everyone else in the film is really lacking. It's a lot of fun to watch. I'm going to get onto the positives. It's a lot of fun to watch on a big screen, and that is really the best way to watch any of these kind of films. You know, your Mission Impossible, James Bond, your Terminators, anything like that. You want to watch it on a big screen because you want to get the proper effect that was intended. And it was a lot of fun to watch. The visuals, the cinematography, the fights, the action, the fire, everything like that is wicked to watch on a big screen. There's a lot of energy and action, and for that aspect of it, you would be hard-pressed not to enjoy the film. I would actually say that the story in this film is stronger than the first John Wick. If you haven't seen John Wick, you'll know that the story of the first one is pretty weak-limbed, but still enjoyable. But the story in this, I would say, is stronger, and it makes a lot more sense, but it just didn't feel, like I've already said, like it had the same heart that the first John Wick film did. It just didn't feel quite the same. Obviously, they're not trying to copy the same thing, but they are banking off the success of the John Wick franchise, and it just didn't feel like it had the same pull. Some really amazing choreography, so much bloodshed in the film, and one great thing about John Wick is it comes up with all these new ways to kill people, and it's the exact same in Ballerina. There is some really, really inventive stuff to do with, a lot more to do with fire and grenades, which grenades hadn't been such a big thing in John Wick, but a lot of really just awesome visuals in this film. But like I said, the poor acting I felt, and the quite wooden script, and there's some really weird moments where they just pause for no reason, just for dramatic effect, but they're having a conversation. It just kind of pulls you out of the film, unfortunately. Probably the best visual of the whole film is there's these stunning shots of a snowy town where they sort of end up, of like high shots and things like that, and that was really, really cool. Some really creative camera work as well that gives you sort of the best visuals for all the violence, and you feel like you're really in the action. So, like I've said, for the actual visual aspect and for the action and for the bit that you want to get your teeth into and enjoy, this is perfect. 2-hour runtime for me felt too long. I felt it was unnecessary, and the amount of story that the film has doesn't really carry on for that long. They also tried to add in some sort of more emotion and heart right at the end, and it just didn't really fly for me. I just found myself, it was too unbelievable for them to bring in at the time they did, and it also just added nothing to the story whatsoever. There's also one thing that I found really weird. In post-production, they must have messed something up because there was literally 3 different colour overlays that happened like that. And it was just like, oh, so that's the kind of thing that I picked up on. There was another thing where there was a light that was obviously very badly placed, that like went directly into the camera for, I can only assume, a very undesired effect because they cut away from it very quickly. But just little things that I feel if they'd had a bit more heart and maybe a bit more time on the production, they could have picked up on, that just sort of, I don't know, just didn't really make it feel like it was a completely polished idea. Overall, I would say it was great fun to watch. The action is fantastic and is exactly what I was hoping. The story let me down. The acting is borderline. Ana de Armas is the best thing about the film. Her and Ian McShane are definitely the best things about the film. The villain in it is believable but not fantastic. It's an okay story, lots of gripping action sequences, but overall I'm going to give Ballerina 2 stars. And that's the Ballerina. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the AJ review show coming soon for my longer review. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed watching that episode. If you could just drop me a subscribe down below, leave a like and a comment, that'd be really helpful. You can now find me on Instagram, TikTok and Letterboxd, all at AJ Reviews 101, and click to watch this video up here that YouTube recommended. Enjoy.